Today, I want to talk to you about my experience on The Bachelor and why it was the best thing that never happened. This idea of the best thing that never happened, I actually came across a video that The Rock made about how he didn't make it in the NFL, and when it didn't work out for him, he was forced to do something else, and clearly that something else worked out pretty well for him.
I didn't make it to the NFL. My point of this is to tell you guys, sometimes in life, something you want so badly, your dreams that don't happen, sometimes they're the best things that never happen. So for me, playing in the NFL was the best thing that never happened.
The reason this came up again for me was because I was at a friend's house last night having some wine with my boyfriend and our friend. He was saying how he was a basketball player and he played in college, and then he tore his ACL and he got cut from the team. For him, that was like major adversity because it was the top college team in the country and he got cut from the team. So he lost his identity. He was faced with this moment of having to recreate himself, rebuild himself. And that is where he really rose up, and then he became a really successful businessman and a father. He was telling us this story in his beautiful mansion. My boyfriend explained that his adversity was girls growing up. He wasn't taken as seriously as someone to maybe be popular or be attracted to because he was smaller. He was a smaller guy. And he used that as motivation and inspiration to get into the gym and start lifting weights, and he got really strong and he got really good, like top in the country at wrestling. So he used that adversity as fuel. So then I started to think to myself, what adversity did I face? I wasn't really into sports. Most of the boys or guys that I liked me back. So for me, that main point of adversity for me, that letdown, like that moment where my ego had to be checked, like, girl, you're not as cool as you thought you were, was going on The Bachelor. When I went on The Bachelor 5 years ago, I got sent home on the first night. That basically told me that I was a crazy psychopath loser because those are the only girls that get sent home the first night. When I was faced with that adversity, it was the perfect storm for me to have to face myself. It had so many layers. And when I say it's the best thing that never happened, I made it on the show, right? So that happened. I got on the show, but I didn't get to travel with all the other girls. I didn't get to live in the Bachelor Mansion. I didn't get to go on the fun, exciting dates and be a part of the show experience. I needed to not be able to do any of this so that I could be so disappointed and I could really face myself and be broken open so that I could see what was actually inside and who I actually wanted to become. Not to mention, I then got to come home and start building a relationship with my now boyfriend, and that couldn't have happened if I ended up in a relationship with Juan Pablo. So in so many ways, this was the best thing that never happened for me. I am so grateful for it, and I love that I can look back on something like this and find true gratitude for it. And brings to mind a quote by Steve Jobs, which is, "You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backward." I maybe didn't say it exactly as it is, but that's the idea. You can't always plan your life exactly. When you look backward, you can often find little pieces of the puzzle that fit together and that have brought you to become the person that you are today. Things that maybe in the moment were really difficult, maybe in the moment made absolutely no sense and they hurt. Maybe you were really young. Maybe there's multiple things. But you faced some type of adversity, most likely, that provided you with strength that you now have that you wouldn't have had if it wasn't for that adversity. As Tony Robbins talks about in his documentary film, I'm Not Your Guru, he says, blame effectively.
Because if you're going to blame people for all the shit, you better blame them for all the good too. If you're going to give them credit for everything that's fucked up, then you have to give them credit for everything that's great. Because life is not so simple and black and white. My mother beat the shit out of me. She loved me. She was freaked out I was gonna leave. I was a source of everything. I blame her for all the beauty in my life. I blame her that I have the woman I have in my life because I cherish my wife, because I know what the opposite is. I blame her for the capacity to feel and care. I blame her for my insatiable hunger to end suffering for any human I can. Because I suffered a ton. If she had been the mother I had wanted, I would not be the man I am proud to be.
How can I start to shift that story in my mind? How can I remember my past experiences in a positive light? It's not going to happen overnight. But if you start to actually consciously retell that story over and over and blame effectively and find gratitude and find purpose, connecting those dots, looking backward, then you will eventually rewire your brain and you will just live a much more free-flowing life. So I hope this helped you in some way. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this. And if you have any questions or suggestions or ideas or struggles that you're going through, please send me a message. I love, love, love hearing from you, honestly. That's why I'm making these, is for you, to help you. And it might be helping me a little bit too, because I get to express myself. Find me on Instagram at Kylie M. Lewis. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and any ideas, any suggestions you have for future episodes, please let me know, because this is all for you. So thank you again, and I'll talk to you all next time. Bye. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want more videos like this. Maybe even share with me, what is the best thing that never happened for you?
If we can realize that life is always happening for us, not to us, game over. All the pain and suffering disappears.